at Minus. This is Late Night. We hope you're doing well. And now, if you don't mind, I'm going to get to the news. The Biden administration is reportedly worried that Syrian rebels could replace the country's fallen government with something worse. You know, like we did. Authorities in Altoona, Pennsylvania yesterday reportedly detained a man for questioning in the fatal shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson after customers at a local McDonald's reported him for looking suspicious. Said the suspect, "This is literally my uniform. I'm your colleague." The House last week voted to block the release of an ethics committee report on former Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz. They decided it would be unfair to release the report this close to a student council election. President-elect Trump's inaugural committee is reportedly offering supporters who donate $1 million to the inauguration an opportunity to have dinner with Trump and Vice President-elect J.D. Vance. And for $2 million, he won't bring Vance. In a new interview, Melania Trump said that her son Barron has a unique college experience and added that she doesn't, quote, think it's possible for him to be a normal student. Sure, I mean, he's the white child of a famous rich guy at NYU. He'll stick out like a regular thumb. The New York City Council approved a plan last week to create 80,000 new homes on this empty plot of land they found just hiding in plain sight. The Transportation Department announced last week that it will look into a new rule that would require airlines to compensate passengers for delays and rebook them for free on later flights home, while Southwest will just start forwarding your mail. And finally, Pantone last week announced that its color of the year is Mocha Mousse. I got to agree. This year has been one big steaming pile of Mocha Mousse. And that was a monologue, everybody. We're off. We got a great show tonight. We got a night of favorites for you. He is the co-anchor of SNL's Weekend Update. He now holds the record in that job for longest served Weekend Update anchor, and it annoys the out of me. Whatever. He's also the host of Pop Culture Jeopardy, which is streaming on Prime Video. My dear friend Colin Jost is back on the show, everybody. She is a brilliant writer, creator, and actor, you know, from Catastrophe and The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. The second season of her fantastic show, Bad Sisters, is on Apple TV Plus right now. Sharon Horgan is also joining us. And he is a staff writer at The New Yorker, a best-selling author. The FX series, based on his book Say Nothing, is streaming on Hulu. I highly recommend it. Patrick Radden Keefe is back on the show as well. A lot of favorites are back. Family trips. My brother and I had a fantastic conversation with Josh Brolin. So handsome. Even podcasts, audio medium. He's even handsome on a podcast. That's how handsome he is. Also, a reminder to check out my HBO special, Dad Man Walking. You can stream it on Max. And very exciting. Yesterday, it was nominated for a Golden Globe, which is very thank you. And so I said to my staff, hey, maybe we could update, you know, the art and, you know, with the fact that it's Golden Globe nominated, and they handed me this. So that's just means the world to me that they took the time. Moving on, you guys, the holiday season is just around the corner. Everyone's shopping for gifts. They're putting up their trees, menorahs, and that includes my writers. You know, my writers have to write hundreds of jokes every day just to get the 10 or 12 we use in the monologue. And honestly, a lot of those jokes just aren't good. Sometimes I think they throw in a few stinkers on purpose, you know, just to fill the page and meet the assignment. But just because the holidays are upon us, that doesn't mean we can tolerate laziness, which means it's time for another surprise inspection. So here's how this works. I'm going to read some real jokes really submitted by my writers. Some are dumb, some are offensive, some are insane. Most importantly, my writers don't know we're doing this, and because they don't watch the show, they'll never know. So let's get started. The food company J.M. Smucker reported this week that it expects this year to sell more than $900 million worth of its Uncrustables sandwiches. I guess P.T. Barnum was right. There's a Smucker born every minute. So I guess P.T. Barnum was right, but Brian, who wrote that joke, is very wrong. We are going to show, for the purposes of shaming, the writer of each joke. And when we took their headshots, we didn't tell them why. So if they look happy, that's because they fell into our trap. Senate Republicans yesterday because, by the way, when you tell a writer, hey, we'd love to take your picture, what they say is, free haircut? Senate Republicans yesterday elected Senator John Thune to be their majority leader. And Thune, there won't be any more elections at all if Trump gets his way. I'm very disappointed in you, because that was way more than Matt deserved. I was taken, Matt had just gotten out of his convertible. He wrote that Thune joke and just put the top down and was blasting down the West Side Highway being like, you did it again, Matt. Soon there won't be no one who can touch you. SeaWorld recently held a celebration for the 40th birthday of the oldest known macaroni penguin in North America. So here's everything you need to know about our writers. The only word they saw in that setup was macaroni. There was no Googling about penguin facts or anything like that. 100% they were like, oh, macaroni. SeaWorld recently held a celebration for the 40th birthday of the oldest known macaroni penguin in North America. Usually by that age, they've passed away. There's Brian. No convertible for you. Pope Francis yesterday announced the Catholic Church's first ever millennial saint. His pronouns are he, him. That Scollins wrote that joke, and you didn't like it, but it's definitely not going to be your least favorite. Scollins has got a couple coming that are going to make you miss how much you loved he, him. Today was singer Carly Rae Jepsen's 39th birthday, so text her maybe? Great, so I also had that reaction when Matt wrote that joke, right before he drove his convertible into the Hudson River. Like, I don't even know, what do you guys think Matt thought? Like, she's 39 and that's an age where you don't want a phone call, so text her maybe? Or do you think there was no thought at all and he just remembered one thing about Carly Rae Jepsen and thought to make it his punchline? Obviously, we'd love you to email Matt. And we're just gonna flash his email here. If we legally can. The U.S. Navy has commissioned a new ship at the Charlestown Navy Shipyard in Boston called the USS Nantucket. The ship was so long, you could sail it. And everyone left. That was Brian, and I hope they also use that photo in the Guinness Book of World Records for least sound an audience made. Today was National Play Day with Dad. Oh, it always is, said one of them. So, remember what I said? I promised. A music company in Thailand has released a song about the pygmy hippopotamus Moo Dang called Moo Dang Moo Dang. Hopefully it's more popular than Shakira's song about her, Hippos Don't Lie. Oh. Hello, Guinness? Yeah. You want to strike that Brian photo? I'm going to send over a map for you. Post has introduced a new Oreo Puff cereal, so if you've ever wanted to have Oreos for breakfast, go live with Dad. That's the face that kid made when he heard he was the punchline of a Scollins joke. The Justice Department has called on Google to divest from its browser. Is it? I feel like it's on the fence. Is it browser or browser? Well, guess what? When this joke doesn't work, don't pin it on me. The Justice Department has called on Google to divest from its browser Chrome in an attempt to break up the search engine's monopoly. And they called on Microsoft to get rid of its Edge browser just because it sucks. Should we try it again with browser? Let's do it one more time with browser. Let's give Brian a fair shot. The Justice Department has called on Google to divest from its browser Chrome in an attempt to break up the search engine's monopoly, and they called on Microsoft to get rid of its Edge browser just because it sucks. Fixed it. That's what the host does. Fixes it. According to a new survey, 74% of parents educate themselves on topics that their child is interested in, which is why Larry Myers knows everything about jacking off. Who wrote that? Is this the last one? Is this our closer? No, I feel like it's not. Oh, boy. A 100-year-old man and a 102-year-old woman in Philadelphia set a Guinness World Record for world's oldest newlyweds. And if you want to know where they're going to go for their honeymoon, heaven? He did it. This is the last one. This is the last one. It's also a Scollins. This gentleman. I feel like we've established who he is, what he could be expected to do, and so obviously if you're home right now and you keep watching, like, it's on you. You know where this is going. We chose to put this last because you can't follow it, not because it's so funny, but just on a pure taste level. It would be unfair to make anybody have to go after it. Thank you for staying. It means the world to me. And finally, the American LGBTQ+, so now, again. And finally, the American LGBTQ+ Museum opened last week in Manhattan. There wasn't a ribbon cutting, but there was some scissoring. And yeah, give one more time. This has been a surprise inspection. We'll be right back with Colin Jost, everybody.